Shalom. All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Chakodash. Peace and double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS to give us his truth and all his purity. And salutations to all you accomplishing this word throughout the four quarters of the earth in sincerity and in truth. This lesson is going into America is not going to be healed. Now, you have these different Bible Belt Edomites, in the wake of Trump winning the elections, trying to bring Bibles back to different schools all over America. You have this one that says Texas State Board of Education votes to allow elementary school curriculum that includes optional Bible-infused teachings, right? This is in Texas. And then over here, you got it in Idaho. It says indoctrination in Idaho public schools. Christian nationalist group says, bring it on, right? And then over here we have in Colorado, it says, on 10th anniversary, bring your Bible to school day, expense to bring your Bible everywhere. So, these Edomites, they're actually thinking that, bringing all this Christian spirit back into schools is going to save America. Because that's the reason why they're doing it. They're seeing, the fallen, state of the society. They see the left agenda, all the LGBTQ agenda that's going on. They're seeing, how America became more and more deplorable. They're seeing how their economy is falling. So in their minds, they could feel, the collapse coming. So they thinking that by going back to, so to speak, quote unquote, by going back to biblical ways, setting up the Bible as the standard, that is going to save them from this downfall, but it's not going to be so, because we know prophecy says America is going to be destroyed. America is Babylon the Great, and this is, something that Christians will never accept, because to accept that America's Babylon is to means you're going to accept that everything that you know is going to be destroyed. Everybody and everything including you, is going to be destroyed. So, they try to do everything in their power to stop prophecy, because that's what this is for. They don't want the downfall of America, man. But all that is in vain. All right? This is Jeremiah chapter 51, verse, I'm going to start at 6. It says, flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. Yeah, so flee out of the midst of Babylon doesn't mean, take a plane and go to a different country, go to Israel, go to the wilderness somewhere, go to a far off country, that's not affected by America. That's not what it means. It's saying flee from America mentally, spiritually. Meaning what? Take your heart out of this place. That's what it's talking about. The scriptures tell us in the book of 2nd Ezra to be as pilgrims on the earth. Meaning what? Our time here, I think Paul said something like that, if I'm not mistaken. Our time here is basically we sojourning. This is a sojourning. This is a journey that we're going through. And when you go on a journey, you go to different places. You go to different lands. Well, guess what? This is a journey we're going to, and, the final destination is going to be the kingdom of heaven. So flee out of the midst of it is spiritually. Just like in Revelation, God says, come out of her, my people, so that you don't be partakers of her sins, so that you don't receive of her plagues. So don't partake of America. Don't partake of the hope of this place so that you don't be destroyed with it. So it says, flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. So this is the time that the Most High is going to visit the world which he made. Like the scriptures say, the Lord's vengeance is what? Nuclear destruction. Of what place? America. And why is the Lord angry? Why is the Lord going to take vengeance? Because America enslaved the children of Israel. America is that beacon of wickedness, all right, that spreads forth, is tentacles all over the earth, and spreads forth more and more evil, man. America is the place where evil stems from all over the earth. LGBTQ, democracy, um, women's rights, whatever depravity you could think of starts here in Babylon and it spreads to these other countries, mainly through social media. All right. So it says, Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. So America is a golden cup. This is the country that everybody wants to come to and make it. Thinking that, this is where, all hope is. Like if you wanna, be the best of the best in life, the best you could have done in your country can't even amount to the best you could do here in Babylon the Great. So everybody wants to come here. This place is a melting pot, And it was the same thing with Rome. I was watching Gladiator last night, and in a movie, Denzel, one thing he said was, I'm not going to spoil it, but one thing he said was, to go from a slave to like in the Senate, that could only be possible in Rome, So in America, to go from being, broke in your country to being wealthy here or rich, it's just this. You can only really do that in America, man. Them other countries don't have as many opportunities. So America's that golden cup that made all the earth drunken. Drunken with what? With her philosophies. All right. The scriptures say what? That Israel, our people, is drunken but not with wine, and they stagger but not with strong drink. So what are they drunken with? The philosophies, the ways of this world, the customs of America. That's the wine that makes the nations drunken. You go to China, they celebrate Halloween. These different countries celebrate Halloween. Even though that custom goes back to what is it? It was the Celts. I think it was the Celts, if I'm not mistaken. It goes back to them in Europe. But, America, we know America worships all the gods of these other empires and, all these different deities, and they turn it into different holidays. But the other countries, the other nations, they follow America. So that's where they get it from. They ain't go to the customs of the Babylonians to learn about Christmas. They learn that from here, from America, even though it's a Babylonian custom. So America's that golden cup that made the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. And that's why the nations are now gathering up together to, go to war with Babylon. You got Iran stepping up, North Korea stepping up, Russia stepping up. All these nations, they join the BRICS because they're sick and tired of Babylon the Great. Because part of America's wine is, what is it? The economic system, those banks, having the nations basically tied up through this debt that they put them in. So the nations, they're tired of it, man. The nations are mad. It says, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. So America is fallen, It hasn't happened yet, but it's in the midst of happening. The scriptures, when they speak, they'll speak in as if this thing already happened, because in the spirit it's already happened. It just has to play out, in the physical realm. So America is fallen, man. All right. And we've seen all the signs of it. This economy is in shambles. Joe Biden trying to, start a war with Russia, which, we know, brothers that's in the know, we know that's not going to be World War III. We're not, too excited yet. Yeah, we're excited, but we know this ain't it yet. It's going to be it when we see the situation with Israel and Iran blow up into a bigger war. And that's when, Russia and America is going to be locking horns, and that situation that just happened is going to lead Russia to, take a more dominant stance in the Middle East towards helping Iran and America's enemies. You see? So, America is set up for failure, man. All the signs are there. It says, how for her take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. And that's what Trump has been promising. He been promising balm, healing. He gonna fix this, he gonna fix that, he gonna fix the economy. He put Elon as, head of government efficiency, which we already know it's a plot for, the chip, the RFID chip. All right. So, he set that up, to save $2 trillion. He's going to bring peace. He's going to bring a deal and stop the war between Russia and Ukraine and this and this and that, Well, the Lord said, if so be she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. So you can't heal this place, man. It don't matter how many Bibles you put in schools. It doesn't matter if you have prayer days, It doesn't matter anything that you Christians do for America, because this place has been set up from the beginning to be destroyed. So we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. It's not coming back. Ain't no fixing the economy. Ain't no stopping the downfall of this kingdom, man. On average, empires have about 250-year rulership, on average. And America is near that time. 2026 is, the 250th year of America. So we in the midst of that time, man. And this is why the elites, they're moving so fast, because they know they have but a short time. They see the signs. They know empires usually don't last, that long. They're not going to, when they're setting up this newer order, but they know it's not going to be long lived. They know it's not going to go on for decades and centuries. They know it's going to be short, so, they know the time is short. So they try to do everything in their power to establish it before they lose it. So it says, forsake her and let us go everyone into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. And, that's what's going to happen, man. A lot of people going to leave this place once they start seeing the economy, being on a third world country level. A lot of nations, they're going to leave this place and go back to their lands, because they're going to see, hey, man, our currency, because, BRICS, they coming in with their own payment system and their currency, so, hey, man, it might get to the point where their currency in their countries is worth more than the American dollar. They might be like, man, I'm over here fucking catching hell over here when I could just be in my country and just be good and not have to deal with all these bills and all this bullshit that's going on over there. Even though the whole world economy is going to collapse, but you're going to have pockets, certain countries where it's worse than others, or, better than others, So a lot of merchants, a lot of people that came here to make money, they're going to go back to their countries, And even now, you got people, even, Haitians, I know Haitians, so-called Haitians, Levites, they come here, they make their money, and when they retire back in Haiti, because the dollar goes, stretches out there. You know what I'm saying? It's worth more out there, But, hey, man, America's not what it portrays itself to be. It's a golden cup that's full of shit, full of shit and piss. You come here, thinking it's a better life, and it's really a worse life. It's slavery. You got to pay all these bills and all of that shit. In other countries, it's not like that, man. All right? So, yeah, that's it on that. Now let's get Slack here. Let me get Nahum. Okay, this is Nahum chapter 3, verse 4. It says, because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts, that selleth nations through her whoredoms and families through her witchcrafts. Yeah, so the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot. Who's that harlot? America. The harlot, that woman that rideth upon the scarlet colored beast. That's America, man. And the red colored dragon, the scarlet colored beast, is NATO and the EU. This new Roman Empire. America is at the head of it. They're the ones that's the head of NATO. They're the ones whose votes count more than all the other countries combined. This is why at the United Nations, every time they vote on a two-state thing for Israel and Palestine, for Palestine to be their own state, guess who is always the ones that veto? The United States and Israel, whereas every other country will vote for it. Even though, yeah, fuck them Arabs, F them Palestinians, you know what I'm saying? But it just shows you the pull that America has, all right? So because of the multitude of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts, that selleth nations through her whoredoms and families through her witchcrafts. And this is what they do. They push their different agendas through the media all over the world, pushing, stuff in the movies and cartoons, to program the minds of people to be wicked, because that's all it's all about. Because they know the more wicked their empire is, the more power they gain from Satan, So they do everything in their power to push wickedness, The music awards, you always got some devil shit going on in there, they're wearing the red clothes with horns and, saying it's just a performance where when it was just a ritual that they was doing on camera, on TV, and they enchant the minds of people, man. The things that this devil does, man, we don't even know the half of it. This is why the scriptures say, how are the things of Esau searched out, and how is his hidden things sewed up? This man has so much wickedness involved in everything, we can't even begin to name it all. Like I was talking to a brother, about even the clothes with the mixed fabric, polyester, it's plastic, man. And they got that in all our clothes, man. Why? Because they did their research. They found out that, different materials have different frequencies that could affect your health. Linen, the reason why linen is so, talked about in the scriptures, because it actually heals with the frequency that it has. It has healing properties, And the reason the scriptures tell us not to have those mixed fabrics is because when you have something that's whole, 100% cotton, or whatever it is, it has a positive charge, Whereas when you mix it with other shit, it, cancels out that charge, and pretty much makes your body more susceptible to diseases, man. So this is all fucking witchcraft, man. It says, behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and will shew the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. So the Lord is exposing them. Everybody's seeing them for who they really are. The devil, Satan, the wicked, people who don't got no type of remorse or mercy, Everybody's exposing them. This is why the whole world is against Israel right now, and against the U.S. for supporting Israel, because they claim to be about democracy. They claim to be about human rights and all of that, but they're supporting, the war against the Palestinians and the Lebanese. So the world is seeing them for being hypocrites, man. So it says, I will shew the nations thy nakedness and the kingdoms thy shame. And I will cast abominable filth upon thee and make thee vile, and will set thee as a gazing stock. So the Lord is going to set this space as a gazing stock. Everybody is going to see the downfall of America, man. And we all seen it now. You go in these different comments when the news get brought out, about what Joe Biden just did and, shit that's happening in general, man. And, these people, they see that America is done for, Some people be like, man, just bring it over with, man. I'm tired of paying bills. It just shows you, man, that the people are tired, man. Everybody is tired. America is tired. It's over with, man. So it says, and it shall come to pass that all they that look upon thee shall flee from thee, and say, Nineveh is laid waste. Who will bemoan her? When shall I seek comforters for her? So this is goes back to what? Revelation 18. Let's get that. Revelation chapter 18, verse 1, it says, after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And that's speaking about Yahweh Shah. And he cried mightily with his strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. Yeah, so, America is going to be destroyed. And after its destruction, it's going to be turned into a desert wasteland. All right? You can read about, what is it, Isaiah 34, where it mentions how doleful creatures and different animals, desert-like animals, is going to dwell in this place. All right? Because once the missiles hit, they're not going to leave anything behind. No bunker, none of that shit. All the elements is going to be burnt. It says, and for all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And this is how these other countries became wealthy. America has made, nations very rich. China is rich because of America. Matter of fact, majority of the global economy is this way because of America, because of the Industrial Revolution that they established, which led to many new inventions, new innovations that, countries modeled after, and they became rich. They sell all their goods over here to the U.S. If the U.S. economy collapsed, the world economy collapses, man. This is a fact. So the nations have drunk of her wine, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. So they partook of America's ways for that bag. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. Yeah, flee out of the midst of Babylon. So spiritually come out of her, so that you don't get the plagues that's coming, which is what? Famine, pestilence, chaos, civil unrest, World War III. All right? This is all the plagues that's coming on America, man. So it says, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua, have remembered her iniquities. So, they reached that, that limit, that peak of their wickedness, man. Just like during the time of the flood, the Lord saw on the earth, he saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth. And then, he was like, enough is enough. And then he sent, the flood, man. So, enough is enough, man. All this wickedness, the angels come down here, the eyes of the Lord, and they go back up to the Father and show it to the Father, man. And they tell the Father what's happening down here. Because the Lord's eyes is too pure to behold evil, man. So they're taking account, man. Everything is written in heaven. Everything, man. All the sins of America has been tallied up, So we at that time, it says, reward her as she have rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works, and the cup which she have filled, fill to her double. And how has America dealt with us? Through slavery, through, oppression, So this is the same thing that's coming to, even before we get into the kingdom. The Lord is going to give Jake a taste of, vengeance. It talks about the race wars in the book of Micah, the 5th chapter, how the Lord is going to use our people to put hands on Esau. And even amongst us, Lord's will, if we're the Lord's elect, the Lord is going to give certain of us spiritual power to put hands on Esau, man, and them other nations, But the devil is really going to come when these devils get into captivity. It says, how much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. And this is the spirit that America has had, that they can't be taken down. They're so dainty. They're the best people on earth. They look down on third world countries, seeing, whenever they see those wars in the mother countries and how they're living, they puff up with pride. Like, yeah, we live in the best country in the world, the best nation in the world, So it says, therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, power, who judgeth her. So America is going to be taken down very quickly, So, it's not going to be one day of, famine, boom, 6 o'clock in the morning, famine, boom. In the afternoon, boom, World War III, and then boom, at night, oh shit, the world is destroyed. No, it's talking about it's going to be a period of time leading all the way up to the war, and that's going to be a short period of time, you know. So before, the missiles get shot, it's going to have to be famines. It's going to have to be pestilences. Everything that Yahweh Shah spoke about in Matthew 24. Famine, pestilences, earthquakes in diverse places, which, they're happening already, but they have to intensify. All right. And then the war is going to be the icing on the cake, So in the midst of it all happening, the missile's going to get shot, at the end of it all. So in one day, it says she shall be utterly burnt with fire, for strong is the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshua who judgeth her. And the scriptures say in 1 hour, America's destruction is going to come, 1 hour. Matter of fact, it might be this chapter. Let's see. Oh, yep, it is. So you know what? Let me read a couple verses and I'm going to jump. So it says, I'm going to read 8 again. It says, therefore shall her place come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burnt with fire. For strong is the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshua power who judgeth her. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and have lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas, that great city Babylon, the mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. Oh, there you go, it says it here too. So 1 hour, man. And when you look up the missiles that Russia, China, and Iran pretty much, already got their hands on, because they already got nukes now. But when you look at their missiles, they could travel to America from, in the span of, 15 to 30 minutes, and they're becoming more and more fast. Both China and Russia got a missile that could reach here, like 10, 15 minutes. So 1 hour is not, a stretch to say, it's going to be destroyed that quickly. All that land, yes, when you consider there's going to be 200 million warheads hitting different parts of this place, yes. So it says, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come, and the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. So America is how they all made rich. When you see the goods, the different goods that's all around you, it says what? Made in China, made in Indonesia, made in Mexico, made in the Philippines, the different places that not from America, because America doesn't export, it imports. So this is how all nations become rich, is through the merchandise. And then it starts naming the name of the merchandises: gold, silver, precious stones, pearls, fine linen, purple and silk and scarlet and tan wood, and all manner vessels of ivory, and all manner vessels of precious wood and brass and iron and marble. And these things all come from the East, from other countries. All these things that are mentioned, they're not produced here in America. All right. I'm going to jump down to verse 15. It says, the merchants of these things which were made rich by her shall stand afar off for the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing and saying, alas, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen and purple and scarlet and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls. For in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught. And every shipmaster and all the company in ships and sailors and as many as strayed by sea stood afar off and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, what city is like unto this great city? So everybody all over the world is going to see the downfall of America. They're going to see it from the east to the west. I mean, we're in the west already, but, I'm talking about South America, the islands, they're going to see that smoke. All right. It's going to go all the way to space, man. So that's why all nations are going to be able to see it. And it says, and they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, alas, alas, that great city wherein were made rich all that had ships in the sea, by reason of her costliness, for in 1 hour is she made desolate. Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua have avenged you on her. So this is why we rejoice when we see certain news come out, about, the downfall of this place. When news come out about potential World War III, about the different policies that's being, passed over here that's going to lead to civil unrest. It gets us going. It gets us excited because we understand these things have to take place before Yahushua returns. And when Yahushua returns, he's going to establish the kingdom of heaven. So that's what we're waiting on. So it says, and a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone, and that represents the missiles, all right, that great millstone, a great burden, that you can't shake off. It says, and cast it into the sea. The sea is America, all right? The sea is the people. It says, saying, thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down and shall be found no more at all. So America is going to fall with violence, man, all right? This is why you have the civil war brewing, right? Trump is not in office yet. He hasn't been inaugurated. But these Democrats, they're doing everything in their power to not allow him to come in office, passing different legislations, having different meetings, to not get him into power. All right. So, hey, man, it remains to be seen, what happens leading up to the January 20th. But, hey, man, this man, Trump, is looking like he's the man for the job. And if they don't allow him in, he might just have a civil war, and just take power, because, hey, man, everything that he's doing matches up with end-time prophecy, using Elon Musk and his government, which is pro-chip, as well as I just found out Dr. Oz is the head of Medicaid. He appointed him, and this dude supports the chip. So, hey, man, it's looking like he's that guy, so with that, I hope this was edifying. I'm going to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua, Ba'ashim HaKodash. Peace and double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS that give us his truth and all his purity, and salutations to all you Akim, pushing this word throughout the four corners of the earth in sincerity and the truth. Shalom.